Welcome to Booming Your Bottom Line. With over 76 million boomers in the U.S. and 10,000 of them turning 65 every day, these older consumers will reach almost 20% of the U.S. population by the year 2030. Cities across the nation are not ready for this. They simply don't have the structure in place to support the aging boomers. There's not enough of nearly everything that they're going to need. Home remodeling and maintenance, financial services, legal services, occupational and physical therapy, doctors, transportation, delivery, you name it. So what are you going to do about it? Are you going to step up, be part of the solution, and profit from it? If so, you're going to have to learn how to reach them, how to talk to them, and how to structure your business so it better meets their needs. I'm Mark Hager, and along with my co-host Aaron Murphy, we're going to teach you how to grow your business, help more people, and realize the income of your dreams. So let's get to this week's topic. Hi, and welcome to episode 36 of Booming Your Bottom Line. I'm Mark Hager, and with me, as always, each week is my co-host, Aaron Murphy. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Mark. How you doing?
Great. Really good. Listen, we've got a great show for you all this week. Today, we're talking about something that can transform your business, how much work you have, the value that you bring to your customers, and even your income. We're titling it Turning $600 Remodeling Projects into $60,000 ones. How to use your knowledge and storytelling to educate your customers and earn 10 times the profit. And yes, I said 10 times the profit, and I'm telling you, it's that good. So let's get to it.
Okay, I had some great discussions recently, Mark, about our own USP, unique sales position, here at BYBL. Specifically, how we talk about what we do, the value we provide, and the promises that we make, our educational information, teachings, trainings, and coachings, what those can do for you. Well, the conversation led to my explaining how we can best help remodelers to get from scraping by when following their passion and wanting to help the boomers and their families to making a much bigger difference in their clients' lives, their own finances, and their ability to not just make ends meet, but truly make a living out of doing what they want to be doing, helping older consumers. So, Mark, what if I told you that I came up with 10 ways to turn your $600 shower grab bar remodeling project into a $60,000 project? Do you think our remodeling industry listeners would want to know more?
Absolutely. I mean, just imagine for a minute what it would be like to go from having a two-person crew make $120 in a day for a grab bar install to making $12,000 a month to do a bathroom remodel. What would a tenfold increase mean for you and your remodeling business? Well, we're talking about something that could mean hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. So are you all ready to learn? I hope so.
All right, here it goes. So it comes down to three things, and we're going to elaborate on each one in a second. But first, I want to give you the three. First, it's about your ability to educate the client in the field, on the fly, and with statistical truths and factual math as you're sharing your pitch. Second is your depth of knowledge that you can share during that sales process. And finally, number three is sharing your information with stories that have emotion and solve a problem or overcome a fear or an objection at times. This is a system of storytelling, and it works. It works incredibly well. And right now, we're going to break down those three parts into actionable steps for you, so you can use this to help make a difference in your income and increase your ability to serve others with your passion. So, Mark, why don't you take the first one?
All right, so educating your clients. This is what we've been talking about with public speaking and blogging, authoring articles, etc., as a critical part of your overall business approach to becoming seen as an expert in your field, in your community. Now, step one is about doing that, but doing it one-on-one with a client, right on site. Yep. This is where you get an opportunity to make a difference in their lives by giving your client what they expect from you: consultation and options. Options to solve their problems. Now, during this discussion with the client, you listen, you advise, and the upsell becomes a natural part of the education and insights you provide them. Now, here's an example. Let's go back to that initial phone call that you get from the I just need a grab bar installed in the shower client. Now, that's a common occurrence with remodelers. So they asked you to come out and give them your advice about what it would take to do that, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so you're a professional and that advice has value, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I said you're a professional and your advice, your knowledge, and your experience has value. Yes? Okay,
Yes, sir.
exactly. So then you owe it to the client to discuss the long game and the bigger picture when you're there meeting with them. Talk to them about, their retirement, their plans, their lifestyle. This can go for the boomer or the 40 plus caretaker clients. Speak specifically to their dreams and desires and their fears. This requires that you know what those are and you have a long term vision and can accept that longer sales cycle, of course. You have to be patient because you're building trust and rapport based off of relationship.
Right. Yeah. Spot on, Mark. Discuss with them how extending their independence and providing for better health and safety is so much more than just a grab bar.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know that you have access to designers, architects, financial planners, mortgage folks, elder law attorneys. Anybody they might need is just a phone call away. Play quarterback there, okay? You
Mm-hmm.
can add to their team of experts. We're all here to help them live the life that they are dreaming about for their future. Explain to them that getting the bathroom or the kitchen designed right for better mobility, freedom, and independence is good for everybody. Your 8-year-old granddaughter, your 80-year-old grandmother, for them, their family, and their friends, all right? Tell them that new faucet, shower, cabinetry, flooring, lighting is going to work better for both grandma and granddaughter alike. And finally, explain, because you've done your homework, and you'll know this, right, that investing in their future is a major return on investment for their happiness, their longevity, and their autonomy at home, but also, truthfully and statistically, financially as well. Explain that a $60,000 remodel on a 5% home equity line of credit is only going to cost them $500 a month versus the 5,000 plus a month for a nursing home or assisted living, or if mom or
Mm-hmm.
they fall, right? They break a hip, they hit their heads in that spec house tub shower combo you keep swearing you might do something about someday,
Yeah.
and you're putting it off. So explain to staying at home with that $60,000 remodel could last them 5 or 10 years. Enjoyment that a spouse or a mother or a parent or right somebody can enjoy that versus 60 to 90,000 per year for a private room and assisted living facility.
Oh yeah, that just blows my mind. I know this stuff, and every time I hear it, it blows my mind.
Tricky.
Yeah, it is. Now, look at what you just did, and think about this. If you were that person on site with a client, you just created a tenfold upsell to your remodeling project, and then you showed them that the price is still 1/10 of the alternative outcome of not planning ahead. I mean, that is amazing. Okay, so Aaron, let's talk about our second piece of the three-piece system.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure we need one after that,
Yeah, I
but
know.
the conversation does continue on site. So, next is depth of knowledge. You have to be an expert in your field. You have to be comfortable expressing your opinions and your advice with clients on the spot. Okay. They brought you there. Mark said that for your advice. Okay. In that sales process in the field, being brought out to share your advice. And as long as you always give them options, more than one, that is your truest job as a consultant. Okay.
Absolutely.
Doing nothing is an option.
Hmm.
Okay. But you have to share options. All right. So why wouldn't you, when the time is right and it's about the client's solution, be discussing not just a grab bar, but the much bigger picture? You should be telling them because of all that homework you've done that your competition hasn't, right? About how white vertical surfaces can create vertigo for Alzheimer's patients, or glare is statistically proven to be 200% more debilitating to a 90-year-old than a 20-year-old, or how incandescent lighting compounds the effects that our eyes, which are already yellowing, have in our environment as we age. Now, let's pause right there for a second, Mark. What if you're sitting there as a listener and you're admitting that you didn't know these statistics? Well, I guess I just made one of our points about our USP then, right?
That's right.
Right? We've spent many, many years together, decades combined, getting to where we are. So, what my point is, you got to do your homework, okay? You got to know a lot about those options and those stats that help you relate to your clients and their personal problems that are current, their fears, their dreams, and the ones that they not only may be facing today, but the future they may be facing if they don't do something now that has bigger vision than a band-aid, which was just the grab bar in the shower.
Very good. Very good point, Aaron. And you also absolutely have to have a solid knowledge of the boomers themselves. And I guess I shouldn't say just boomers, but you need to have an idea of what people go through as they age. And related to that, as a remodeler, the specific solutions that are available to them. I mean, things that you can do. If you don't know that, if you're winging this, you're walking into it blind. You really are. If you know how to do two things, can those things help those people? Can you make, $5,000, $8,000? Sure, you probably could. But what if you could walk in there with a head full of knowledge and could quickly ascertain what was going on and turn that into a $70,000 job?
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
that's all you need right there.
Yep.
So this is a critical component and a huge plus in separating yourself from the competition. All right, enough about that. Let's move on to the next one of the three pieces, and that is storytelling. Using stories to share some of the emotions around the results that these people are wanting, show how you've solved a problem or overcome a fear for another client. And I'm sure that some of you have heard that stats tell but stories sell. It's one of the most long-standing cliches like this. They have stood the test of time because they're true.
Right. Yeah. You bet. Yeah. So storytelling works really well in that feel, felt, found approach, that layout of conversing with a potential client in the sales process. Mm-hmm. And I know we're running out of time, but let me give you a quick example. And it is a real one where I've closed a sale or got a project. Okay. Here's how that conversation went. The client says to me in the middle of a conversation, it's funny. My own mother moved into assisted living because of her arthritis. It was starting to be an issue that made her nervous about living alone. Although, she was otherwise mostly capable. But her independent living unit that we moved her into still had a standard tub and shower combo with a 15-inch tub sill. I couldn't have foreseen this, but, my really outgoing mom that I thought would enjoy her new social life ended up being overtaken by a fear of falling in the same tub setup. She quit showering out of a worry that she'd fall, then her hygiene suffered, and then she quit going out. She quit inviting people over. It was awful. She kind of became a recluse. And we didn't see it. We assumed she was being cared for on site, so we weren't as in touch with her as she was when she was in her own home. In just 4 months, she had pretty much become a total recluse and turned into a medical mess because of the hygiene issue that came from her fear of bathing and falling. And we didn't understand that, aside from just thinking that a facility would work better to resolve for her. Boy, were we wrong. It's been a nightmare ever since. That's what the client said to me. My response, wow, I'm so sorry you had to go through that experience. That must have been awful. I can't imagine having to work through that. I know how you feel. I felt the same way watching my own grandmother struggling to get the care and oversight she needed. In our situation, my dad and his siblings ended up bringing her back home and making the modifications the house needed to help her stay as independent as possible. They were able to get in-home care to help her husband get the breaks he needed, and it ended up the relationship with their mother got better, and they saved a lot of money in the process when they look back at those facility setting costs every month by comparison. The client's response, yeah, those costs were atrocious with our mom too. We had no idea. How did you guys realize that you saved money going the at-home route? That's a great question. Now, okay, see what's happening?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And off you go into that discussion about the cost comparison of do nothing. Again, that is an option that you can give them as a consultant. Do the bare minimum, that grab bar they called you about, or truly assessing the long game. You have to know the cost comparisons of a bigger remodel versus a nursing home, the different ways you can be assistants in helping their house work better, longer, safer, helping them evaluate all their options. And team members, like I mentioned before, designers, lenders, etc. You got to have them in your back pocket, just a phone call away. So again, that's an abbreviated version of an hour and a half conversation with a client, but that was kind of the chunk about feel, felt found in the storytelling and the emotion around your choices. So it takes time, takes patience, takes persistence to reach this level, but it's worth it. Now, in closing, I just want to let our listeners know we're working with some great clients right now at BYBL in our coaching program, and there's nothing more rewarding, and Mark would agree with me, than seeing that hard work that we provide them with, and they do the hard work, and we support them, getting them personal and financial returns. Just today, we've shown you one way you might be able to create a tenfold increase in your profits on some of your projects, right? What would that be worth to your business? Think about that.
Absolutely, Aaron. Look, we know that saying yes to up-leveling your business isn't for everyone. It isn't negative. That's just the way it is for some people. They'll stay in their comfort zone, and that's okay. We just can't help but be passionate about saying yes to investing in your future as a business owner. The benefit is quite simply there for the taking if you take the next step. If you're ready and you'll put the work in to break away from the status quo, to entertain new ideas, and maybe a better way of doing something, if you just aren't satisfied with what is going on now, we're here to show you how you can do it differently, to guide you and support you along the way.
Yeah, that's a fact. You need support and accountability anytime you want to make a change. Learning and creating the changes required to get to where you want to go, the life and the income you're dreaming of, right? So if you want to earn the money you deserve for the work that you do and help more people in your community, I'd like you to go to bybellive.com/ready and apply to work with us. Just very simply answer a few questions on our form, openly and honestly. Be honest with yourself. We'll review it, typically within 24 hours, and we'll set up a strategy call with you to learn more about you, your challenges, and your business. No obligation in doing that, guys. None, okay? You just have to step up and say you're curious, you want to learn more about the possibility of changing your course as a business owner.
Right, Aaron. And it's that simple. Now, during the strategy call that we set up with you, we'll do a deep dive into your situation and your business, find out what's working, what's not working. Then we'll be able to help you see more clearly the areas that need your focus and what working together could do for you. And if we both feel like it's a good fit, we'll continue from there, and you'll get the support you need right now and for your future.
Yeah. Thanks for listening today. If you would, please share our episodes on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter. Helps us reach even more owners just like yourself and make a bigger difference in the world, which is our goal too, helping communities that can get older the right way.
Absolutely. So until next time, be well, be bold, and boom your bottom.